Welcome everybody, Charlie. Welcome to Neutral Zone, Charlie. This be where we discuss the internet's biggest rivalries, Charlie. We will give them fair trial. So, Charlie, what will they do?
Welcome to Neutral Zone. This is a new channel. We are going to discuss everything related to entertainment, football, to entertainment being a music, movies,
Everything, Charlie.
News, whatever it is. We
Charlie.
did for you.
Yeah, so my name is Henry Nana Boati. More people they know me as Chris Cross Online.
And I'm Brian Boatin, popularly known as Juni B. Unim Juni B. Bebrena name Brian also. Yeah, Juni B.
Yeah. So Charlie, before we get into the video, remember to like, comment, subscribe. This be new channel, so Charlie, let's go together. But when our motto be no agenda, no bias. So we'll be bringing you straight facts. We will not be putting in personal sentiments and things. We get on our own personal like teams, our favorite musicians, all of that. But get into the video. We'll be bringing you facts, no agenda, no bias, Charlie.
Exactly. So yeah, as he said, we are saying it as it is.
Charlie.
In Petri for say hey, sorry, yes. Fact,
no.
So we are saying it as it is.
As it is, Charlie.
Yeah,
we know if it be
Yeah,
your favorite, we go chop what you go chop.
Exactly.
Charlie. So, Charlie.
We get one of our favorites, but then
we'll
as he said, we be brothers though, but Charlie.
Yeah, he getting favorite things, which I get my favorite things. So,
drip no can the same, you know what I mean.
We'll get into it like he go talk in thing, I will talk my thing, and then Charlie, we will come to a conclusion.
Yeah.
But majority of our conclusions will be based on facts.
Facts.
So no agenda, no bias, Charlie. Let's get into the video. Yeah, Charlie. So let's continue. So what we're doing today specifically, we delve into sports. So
yeah,
I came up with this topic because he and me, we get two different favorite teams. He supports Charlie.
Real Madrid.
He supports the White Angels. Charlie. When me and they support the Red Devils. So Devil the Angel. We forget into it. But mind you, we know they discuss Man U, the Real Madrid today. No. Today our discussion will be more related to the leagues that these two teams play in. We'll be discussing
about La Liga and Premier League.
Yes,
which one do you think is the best?
Which one is the best?
Yeah, we are going to bring out the facts. We are going to discuss
numbers in any
numbers to show it, and also we have to settle this once and for all on Neutral Zone. Yeah.
So Charlie, before we get into the video, one of the things that they see more times be lots of people they talk say because the Premier League they get more viewership. Like they see if you turn on your DSTV then they show a lot of the Premier League matches. Like way majority of the time the La Liga matches with the trend should be Barca, Madrid, Atletico.
Specific teams,
like
3 or 4 teams be now more carry.
But when we are talking about a great league, I know they think say it be just about how we they view the league. Take off this part of like the country, I they believe say the thing is say we dey Africa, so the influx of African players in the Premier League, it influence how we Africans they see the Premier League. It make we like them more. So it make we be biased to certain things in the Premier League. Exactly. But then other European countries to go feel like the La Liga 2 day top. Of Charlie.
Yeah, I mean, obviously La Liga is the best because they also have most of their players playing in some of these Spanish teams. And for them, they also think La Liga is the best. But over here in Africa, there's a case where most of the Ghanaian players, Nigerian players, South African players, Senegal players are both Premier League. So that is what we are exposed to.
Yes. So I think those are the things where they affect how they see the two leagues. But today we go break them down into certain portions.
Yeah.
So I would like to take them first from players. You understand? So we've had great Premier League players and we've had great La Liga players.
Yeah.
This one, I feel like La Liga might take a little edge when it comes to this, especially when it comes to the last, is it 10, 20 decades?
10, yeah.
Yes, they've had the Ronaldos, they've had the Messis, even Real Madrid, my players.
Real Madrid alone.
Then carry. You understand?
Carry for a long time. Beckham, all of those
guys. Those guys have made great impact. Where if you count the Premier League, that's not to say Premier League no get players. We've had the likes of Henry, we've had the likes of Gerrard, even currently we have the players that I think is really doing great things. Mohamed Salah, you know, who is likely to win Ballon d'Or this year.
Yeah.
So I feel like if we are going players wise, let's Charlie, you make
if we go player wise, individual, they make we start. Make we pick for maybe 10, 15 years now.
Yeah.
The 5 players that has carried the La Liga and 5 players that has carried the Premier League.
Then we go
start from there. We go expand by.
Okay, so you be La Liga guy. So
La Liga,
you go feel give me like some 5.
So for 5, no cap. Me, you know, say I be Ronaldo fan, so I will start by mentioning Ronaldo.
Yes,
not to say Ronaldo is better than Messi.
Yeah, we might get into that debate too. Actually.
Later on.
That'll be different discussion.
So Ronaldo,
yes,
Lionel Messi.
Yeah.
I go put this guy in here, Iniesta in there.
Yeah.
I go put Modric in there.
Yeah.
And then my 5th person, who you go add for me?
I think you mentioned Ronaldo, you mentioned
Lionel Messi.
Messi, you mentioned Iniesta. So I think we have covered the attack, we've covered the midfield. I think, to be fair, Dani Alves has been like one of the best. When it comes to fullbacks, I think nobody actually do as much as Dani Alves. So I'll just put Dani Alves based on position. And then maybe you go fit add extra like midfield.
I think it is not even fair to make a 5. You go fit make them 10.
10 safe. Because you get people like Zizou, them all come play the game.
Them all can play the game. So
those are like his, like, let's say those are the 5 players. Yeah. With these 5 players that we've mentioned, I think, to be fair, based on facts, they've had the numbers, they've had the performances to prove that they are some of the 5 best players coming from La Liga. So comparing it to Premier League, I think I would say you have Henry be one of the few players to do a 2020 in a season, 20 goals, 20 assists in a season. I think Mo Salah might break that record.
Yes, that record. I think Mo Salah will break. Mo Salah will break that record.
Where I feel like we've had defenders like John Terry. John Terry do great job. We've had
solid defender.
We've had Man United legends like David Beckham. And one of the things that I like to talk about is CR7, right? We've had CR7 in the Real Madrid best. Today I won't disclose who my favorite is between the 2 players, but I think one of the things that you can one of the things that you go feel talk about is CR7 is more like a LeBron James in terms of having 3 separate Hall of Fame careers. He's had a Hall of Fame career in Manchester United. If you ask a lot of people, Manchester United all-time starting 11, you have CR7 in there. Maybe after a while, because of longevity, you might replace CR7 with Mo Salah. But majority of the time, going with like one of the best single seasons in history, winning PFA, winning Champions League, all of that. I think he has done a good. Yes, he won the Ballon d'Or that year. I think if you know be Rodri this season, like he
nobody
do so
nobody do.
So you have, I think I can put, even though he has put CR7 in his list, I can also replicate CR7. So I think Henry, Charlie, and he also did it in Juventus. That's why I say that's why a lot of people say. And that's why the fact is he has had 3 Hall of Fame careers. He's had it in Spain, he has had it in Premier League, he has had it in Italy. For the Foam League in the sad for
he's
taking his money. So we won't go into that. But I think Henry, I've mentioned CR7, I'll mention Steven Gerrard, I'll mention John Terry.
Solid list.
I would like to put in, there's a lot of time I don't like to put in players who didn't win like for a long period, who didn't do it like for a long period of time. Longevity. I think I'll just put in maybe a Mo Salah. Yes, I think
Salah,
for now, if Mo Salah is going to be top 10 Premier League players of all time, he has to be like maybe the number 1 player for Liverpool's all time. Maybe between him and Gerrard, he's supposed to be top 5 because Liverpool is arguably the whether first or second. Maybe my team be Man U, so I'll go put Man U first. But
we'll get there. Statistics,
yes, we'll get there. So those are the 5. So if we are going band for band with those 5 players, I think we would obviously say that La Liga is taking the edge on that one. So over the span,
that's actually a very sweep, because these guys in La Liga, what they've done in there, Jamuye or La Liga, bro, what they did over there,
and I mean,
the guys you mentioned are good as well, but the gap is huge.
The gap is huge. Very, very huge. I think even for a guy like Henry, he was part of the invincible team, winning without losing, which is incredible. I think he had to move to a Barcelona team to be able to capture a Champions League trophy, which says a lot for the La Liga teams. We've seen a lot of that happen. So I think with that, player wise and how players have dominated the game, I think that will go to La Liga. Now, where I don't want to make we shift the arguments go is in terms of trophies. And I think with that one too, winning in Europe, I think that will also go to Spain.
So
because
trophies, no, like, what do you mean? Do you mean individual trophies?
I think, or like trophies for the club.
For the clubs, okay.
So I think for the Premier League, right, we'll go into how like the competition is in the Premier League and how the competition is in La Liga. But I don't want make we watch how, see say if we talk say me then you, who be better? How we would decide and say make we put the 2 of we
in a particular competition.
So if them put we for ring inside, make we fight it and see who be better. And I think La Liga teams and EPL teams have been put against each other in Europe, Champions League, Europa. Over the years, the likes of Madrid, I think Madrid alone can solo.
The Spanish teams, they lash the English teams. In fact,
I think
even they lash them. The fact that they lash them.
Just Real Madrid can solo the entire Premier League when it comes to performing in the UCL alone. And then when we come to the Europa, we've seen the likes of Sevilla win it the most. So this is to tell us that it's not just Madrid being able to perform at a high rate in the Champions League, but we have teams like Sevilla, we have Barcelona, teams like even the smaller ones, Valencia, Real Sociedad,
and they lost the Premier League
beating the likes of Manchester United and things. So I feel like with that also, Charlie, then they think
so that'd be the thing. I mean, that'd be the example you give. If we have 2 people who are good in their villages, to find out who is the best, they're about together, pound for pound, who is the best.
Then show,
and then they've been at it for several years. Like years.
And even with this one, I'm even thinking the last 20 years. Because or even 10 years, people will say, oh yeah, past glory and Madrid, past glory, then times now they didn't have this, they didn't have this.
Currently,
so, but even currently, if you are taking the past 5 years,
we still
Madrid or the Spanish team has won more than the other leagues. So I think they take it down one as well. But here is where I think the Premier League takes it. I think when it comes to the competition, like how
competitive the game
is. How the game is on
anything can happen. In Premier League, it doesn't matter who you are.
When it's coming to the weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and you see a fixture like Liverpool Ipswich, you think that and I say Ipswich they will feel higher nearby. But when you watch the game, you see the pace of the game, the intensity of the game. It's like
the passion
even
behind it,
even the small team self, they won't prove points because these teams are moving from, let's say, the second division. They are moving from the Premiership, they are moving from Championship, and they are coming to the Premier League, and they are trying to make a mark.
Prove a point.
I think the competition wise, me personally,
and then the funny thing is that with these smaller teams, sometimes they know they feel squad them a body. But if they meet the big boys, they won't punish them. They won't punish them, exactly.
I think even just this past weekend, like we saw how Ipswich worried Manchester United. Had United grinding to get like a win.
The funny thing is United won, but the performance was bad.
Yes, like if you are watching the game, you will feel like Ipswich Town was like team. Was playing like the bigger team. Like they were trying to possess the game, they were trying to attack. So I feel like with that, that edge will go to the Premier League.
Facts.
Hands down. And I think another thing that you would want to consider when you're comparing two major leagues or two people or anything is popularity.
Yeah.
And I think with that we have the numbers. I think Premiership has the most views. They get billions. I think they get like 9 point something billion. I think so, from my last research I saw said they get like it's about 9 point something billion viewership from the Premier League. So I think they are doing more numbers, and I think the La Liga is about 2 point something. So yeah, they are obviously the more popular
league.
And I think what makes the Premier League the more popular league is because of how they recruit, how they take players from all around the world.
Oh, okay.
Yes, not as in the talent wise. I think talent wise, the La Liga does maybe may take the edge slightly with how they recruit, like looking out for players. How even the likes of Barca saw Pedri and immediately they went for him.
Not to cut you off, but what you are trying to mean is it the scouting?
Yes, how they scout from all around the world. Because you see Premier League coaches, scouts coming to Africa, going to Asia, going to South America. Like the likes of Moises Caicedo. Like these are people that moved from leagues that weren't as popular, and then they came. So it's like the Premier League tries as much as possible say them go grab fans from everywhere. So they go to South America and they take someone in South America, and now South Americans will watch the game because they feel like, oh, this one they play for years. So
put a person so
a lot of
just like when Mo Salah is playing. Is it West Ham? And so I'm for share on matches because Mo Salah they play. I mean,
if Kudus is playing, Ghanaian interest day, so we go watch. If Liverpool they play, Mo Salah day, so Egyptians or Arabian teams go watch. So I feel like that is how the Premier League teams they capture like new fan bases and like new people from everywhere. I think the La Liga does it, but they don't do it on a scale as well as the Premier League. So I think with that, maybe the debate is swaying 2-2. But here's where
I mean the thing is, it is swaying. But my point is, we are talking about which of these competitions, which of these leagues are the biggest. The thing is, some of the arguments hold more weight
than the other.
For instance, when it comes to the last point that you just raised,
viewership isn't such a big.
Viewership is actually big.
Yeah,
so viewership is a big thing, but the other one, when you were comparing the scouting, how they are recruiting from all around,
I don't think like
that is not really a lot of really the whole that would be like for boxing, like jab, like
so like hook or uppercut, so like it's not something that will blow like that will cause a blow, but something like winning Champions League, like performing in Europe, like having your players dominate and things. So I think another thing will be how individuals, like we've said, he's given 5 players, I've given 5 players, but I think outside of those 5 players, just to piggyback on that, out of like those players that you mentioned and the players that I mentioned, I think his players, the La Liga players, have had like a lot of success in the Ballon d'Or. Whether you like how the Ballon d'Or is, how like the voting goes, I think to be fair, they have dominated. We've had the likes of Ciro and Messi go back to back. We've had even midfielders like Modric.
Modric. I mean,
winning the Ballon d'Or.
Even the season that Modric won, arguably people could have said that it should have gone to someone else. But I mean, for a player like Modric to win a Ballon d'Or in that
huge.
Era, it's huge. I mean, it's very
so huge. I think they have dominated in that aspect as well. But I think this is where we might come to the end of the argument, and this is
before we get to the end. I mean, the same with the trophies, and then the trophies are good for the La Liga teams. They are dominating over there. I think the other thing that is also big, one point that is also big, and it makes people talk about Premier League being the best, is how competitive it is. Like, let's not it be very, very competitive. Premier League be very, very competitive. You know, say La Liga they take the trophies and all of that. But Premier League, We know that Man City has been taking over for quite some time, but even with that,
like I mean, you saw the season where City won the league, going head to head with Liverpool, and City just edging it by one point. I mean, just at the dead of the league. So
and even at the end of the season, the gap between these teams,
majority of the time,
very close gap.
It's very close.
Yeah, very close.
And I think the likes of Liverpool and Man City have shown us that the league can be competitive, even if like certain teams have like the more bigger names. True, I think Premier League just tries to like compete, like the players they compete, even if like if you are coming against Haaland, you see the Tottenhams, the West Ham's players over there trying to play their best to prove that I see Haaland, but me to do one.
Yeah,
you get it. So I feel like they have the edge in competition. But here's where I don't want to make we draw the line. I think if let's put Ghana for instance, if the Ghana Premier League they perform well, it will translate into the Ghana national team. Sake of it means say when a league they perform, we get players from Ghana. And I think that is definitely where La Liga carries it. We saw the team, the La Liga team that won the World Cup. And I think if your league is performing, it has to translate into your national team.
For real.
And we've seen a lot of talent. I'm not saying we've seen a lot of talent when it comes to the English Premier League. The English players performing. We've had players like Bellingham coming up. We've had the Declan Rices and things. But I think what the Spanish team has been able to do. You remember the 2010 team? It was literally a Barca
and Madrid collaboration. And the funny thing is they play like sometimes you can be watching a Spanish game. Like
it's like you're watching Barcelona game. It's like you're watching a Madrid
play
because they play with that much passion. And I feel like the way the league is structured, they take a lot of players from their own side and they put them into the league, and they make sure that these players are able to play well and thrive well. So it translates into their national federation. So I think that is where they edge it out. Just previously the Euro, Spain won it. It's not a debate of Spain is just because of the World Cup. That's why we are coming out with this conclusion. I think they did it in the World Cup. They've also been
they beat England.
Yes, England. So it's like Spain again beating England again. You say
they beat them.
Yeah, so for a fan,
there is no bias here. We are just stating facts. Like so, the two teams that we are, the two leagues that we are comparing, their club team, their individual national teams played.
Yes.
And then Spain won. Spain got the win. So
and even with that, we saw how the players that play in Spanish La Liga played. We saw the likes of Lamine Yamal. We saw the likes of the Williams brother, Nico Williams. We saw how the Carvajals played. It was because of this competition and the UCL that had like players like Carvajal being in Ballon d'Or conversations and things like that.
And the funny thing is, the reason is these players in the Spanish clubs, they are playing in the UEFA Champions League. That is a big stage. So playing in the World Cup, I know that is in the World Cup or in the Euros, whatever, is also a bigger stage. But they have always been under pressure. Under pressure.
They are used to pressure.
It translates. About national team, World Cup is a big thing, but they are not really feeling it as much as the other players are feeling it. Because they are always playing in these leagues. I mean, Manchester United.
How many Manchester United?
You understand? Players
have gone into the Champions League final. So when you see Maguire in a World Cup final, the way he go shake will be different from the way So it translates into that. So I think that is where they edge it out for a league to be able to succeed. I think your club should be able to succeed. That's one thing that the Spanish La Liga has been able to do. Although like their competition, like the conversation which revolves around the Madrid, the Atletico, and the Barcelona. Lately, we've had teams like Real Sociedad last 2 seasons was gunning for the La Liga.
The La Liga.
They almost won it, and then Madrid Mafia them. So I think all of these things, we have the likes of Bilbao coming up, bringing talents like Nico Williams and Aki Williams. So I think,
I mean, things might change because now we are seeing that these other Spanish clubs are also trying to be competitive.
Trying to make
before
an impact.
Madrid is playing Real Sociedad, and we are not even scared. You understand?
But now then they play. This coming weekend we have the Real Madrid Betis game, and I think it's one of the most talked about things that's going to happen this weekend, because whoever wins this weekend's games, he
go to the top. I mean, I don't say we go win, but like, I mean, this Real Madrid team, it's not the best. I mean, we have the players, but the team is not the best. The performance is not the best. We are winning matches though, but I think there's a lot. There's a lot to do, because the talent we get,
the potential there. I think if the Madrid team is playing at the current Madrid team is playing at its full potential, I don't think there's any team in the world that should beat them. I think, me personally, I always say that Kylian Mbappe is the best player in the world
right now.
Right now. Maybe you might, maybe because of how Mo Salah is performing, I think. But not just taking this season. When we are talking about the best player in the world, we are taking a span, like who has been the face of football, who has been
consistent
of soccer. I mean, the two players that we mentioned is Vinicius.
This is West season. Look at the numbers.
The numbers that he's pulling in, and I think what will make things interesting is if how like the Champions League will play out. That will affect who wins the Ballon d'Or. Because the funny thing is, even though people think Madrid is not performing at their best, Madrid is still giving out some good numbers. And if Mbappe continues and they win the Champions League, he might even be in the Ballon d'Or conversation, even if right now it's between Mo Salah and Rafinha. So this is where we will end on a video. I hope Charlie,
today. So the thing is that we concluded.
We concluded. I think,
how many points did
I think overall the La Liga had like 5. They had solid 5. They have the players, they have the trophies, they had the national team edge, they have when it comes to the players winning Ballon d'Ors, and then we talked about the whole 5v5, mentioning the 5 big Premier League player, La Liga players, and me mentioned the 5.
But then again, guys, do not misunderstand what we are saying.
Yes,
we are talking about the biggest, not the most competitive.
Yes,
like you guys need to understand what we are talking about.
This is not a conversation of which one is the most popular, because we mentioned that Premier League is more popular. So this is not a conversation of which is more popular, which is more competitive. This is an overall judgment. So the biggest, I think, will go to La Liga because of how well they've performed, both as a league and how that league has translated. When we are talking about the biggest, it's mainly about the impact. So if you perform well in your league, it should impact your national team, it should impact your national federation. So
it should also impact the Champions League,
everything. And
if you're sure working over there, you know, if you're sure working for your home, conquer your home, then talk say you are the best, because you are the best in your home.
We just saw how Real Madrid did Man City just recently. So Charlie,
but that conversation, I know people they talk saying this is not Man City's best, but we've beat them while they were the best. I don't know if you understand the conversation. And Madrid is not, we are not our best too. So I mean,
like that was one of the games where people were saying that these are two teams that are not exactly at the best, and these are two of the biggest coaches in football. So I don't think that's an excuse for Man City losing that game terribly. That's just to show how well Madrid is playing. I think Madrid is one team that might not start well, but they know how to finish well. That's his team. But my team is not performing well. I know how to praise. I know how to praise good things. And
at the end of the season, we go show working. But the team way that they bore me right now, I go talk. I don't care if people hate on me, Barcelona, then they bore me.
I think Barcelona they play one of the best footballs right now.
They actually bore me.
If you be rival,
shout out to my cousin Steven. We go show you.
Shout out to
my cousin Steven.
That's one of the biggest Barcelona fans like we know. So so.
But I mean, I respect Barcelona actually. The talent with the right now.
All respect to the team. Still glory Man United, still down 14th. 14th. Oh yeah, 14th. Yeah, we dey dig, we continue, we dey go down. I mean, very soon, Charlie. I don't know what you go discover.
Manchester United,
yeah, we will discuss the woes of Manchester United. But thank you for watching this video. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications, so see anytime we drop, you will know. And yeah, this was a very interesting conversation. I hope you liked it, Charlie. So we enjoy it, Charlie.
Peace out, guys. Peace out, Charlie.